guys, it's Kylie. Today I'm going to be doing my first video for the VideoAthon the Strike Back VideoAthon, I think it's called. And it's already the 5th day, but I'm finally getting time to film my first video. And today's prompt is sequels that I would like to read. And not all of these are actually the second book in the series, which I believe sequel is only the second book in the series, right? Some of them are the third book, but I decided to include them anyways because that is what I wanted to do. So the first one is actually the third book in the series, and it's Envy. I think this is the third book in the series. If not, I have the third book somewhere, but it's from the Lux series by Anna Gaberson, and I read the second book last year, I believe, and it ended on kind of a sad cliffhanger with a shocking sort of ending that I wasn't expecting. So I was so excited to get to this one, so I ordered it off Thrift Books right away after I finished that one, and it's been probably about a year now and I still haven't gotten to it. So I would like to get to this one maybe soon. The next book that I would like to get to, the sequel, would be the Poison Study books. It's called Magic Study. I don't own it. I was looking for this cover, but I can't find it anywhere. I think I'm just going to have to settle for a different style of cover. It kind of bothers me, but it is what it is. This one follows Yelena. She is going to be executed, but she takes a job as the king's food tester, testing for poisons in his food instead of being executed immediately. So she risks dying of poisoning, or she can just be executed straight away. So she, of course, chooses to test the food, and this is just about her story, and it has some magic system in it. I believe Magic Study must go more depth into the magic. So I think that'll be a good one. The next book is also the third book in the series, and it is City of Glass by Cassandra Clare, the third book in the Mortal Instruments series, and I thought I read this one. I could have sworn I read the third book, but apparently I didn't because it's not on Goodreads, and I always write my name on the inside cover of my books after I finish them so I know which ones I finished, and there's no name in this one, so apparently I haven't read it yet. I've heard that this one is the best one so far in the series, better than 1 and 2 anyways, so I'm hoping I'm not disappointed by it. I feel like I'm the only person in the world who hasn't read every Cassandra Clare book ever, but the only ones I've ever read are book 1 and 2 of the Mortal Instruments, and they're good, but I don't quite understand the hype, I guess. I think maybe if I read her more recent novels, maybe I will appreciate her writing more. The next book that I want to read the sequel is Pandemonium, and this is the second book in the Delirium trilogy. The first book, I read it several years ago, and I might have to reread that one before I get to this one, but it was about a world where love is illegal, and of course the main character falls in love, but at the end of the book there was like a love triangle, and that kind of bothered me, so I never got to this one after I picked it up. But I think I am ready and moved past my anger of the love triangle to read it. Next one is another one that I read the first one of several years ago, and that's Pretties by Scott Westerfield, and I have read Uglies more than once because I was trying to remember what happened to get to this one. And I might have to read it a third time, but then I'm worried that I'll get to this one and I'll get through the first 2 chapters like I have the past couple times and just not finish it. But Uglies is about this world where you're ugly until you're like 16, and then you get this surgery that makes you flawless, essentially, and that's when you become a pretty. And this is just about the characters after they become pretties. Let me know if you've read this book, what you think of it, and if you think it's as good as Uglies. If I can get through the first 2 chapters, just tell me if it gets better. The next sequel that I would like to read is The Treatment. It is the sequel to the book The Program by Suzanne Young, and I read The Program quite a few years ago as well. I was super into it in like 7th or 8th grade, I think, is when I read it. And it's about an epidemic of suicide, and they go to this thing called The Program where they're supposed to cure them of their depression and their suicidal tendencies. And it's been on my shelf for probably, well, since it came out because it's hardcover, so it's been on there for a while and I still haven't gotten to it. So let me know if you've read it, what you think of it. The last sequel that I want to get to is probably the most likely one that I'm going to get to next, and that is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. It is the second book to the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which I loved the Shadow and Bone's first book that I read 2 months ago or so, and so I'm really excited to read this one. It's at the top of my TBR. I'm hoping to maybe read it next month or the month after that, so let me know if you've read it and what you think of it. I haven't read Six of Crows yet, and everybody says those are so much better. But I have really loved these ones, so I'm hoping that when I go into Six of Crows expecting them to be better than these ones, they really are, and I'm not disappointed. I'm a little worried about that. Sometimes the hype can kind of ruin books for me, but I definitely know that I'm going to love this book. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing. Let me know if you've read any of these books, which ones you think I should get to next, and maybe move up to the top of my TBR or somewhere near the top. I've got way too many books that I need to finish, like this whole shelf almost I haven't read yet, so who knows when I'll be getting to these ones. I almost forgot to do the small booktuber shoutouts at the end of the video, so I'm going to mention 3, and the first one is Katie's Booktube. She's got almost 400 subscribers, and she just makes excellent videos. I think you'll really love her. She's funny, and she's got beautiful lighting and beautiful bookshelves, and you should definitely go check her out if you haven't seen any of her videos yet. And the second channel that I want to shout out is Emma Rund, and she has almost 800, I believe, subscribers. But again, she makes really good quality, professional looking videos, and she definitely deserves more recognition that she gets. And if you guys have not checked out those channels yet, you should definitely go do that. I'm going to link them in the bottom bar below for you guys. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.